Okay, so today's learning target is 3E, which means we are going to find the x and the y intercepts of points. So x and y intercepts. Your do now is again a review from the last unit. We want to get the variable by itself. This time we want y by itself. So we'll draw a line down the equal sign. Get rid of anything that's not a y. So this is not a y. I'll get rid of this first. I do inverse to get rid of the 4. I do it on this side to keep it equal. These cancel out, and we have negative 8 minus 4x. Again, I'm only concentrating on the left side. Get rid of the 2 because that's not a y. And I divide this side by 2 because I want to keep it equal. Y equals negative 4 minus 2x. Y is by itself. For number 2 on your do now, it says find the slope. Again, this one, there's two methods to do this one. This one's pretty easy. You can simply count. It's the easiest way. I'm going to identify 2 points. There's 1 point right here, and there's 1 point right here. And right now I'm not concerned about the numbers, so I'm just counting. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So plus 6 up, and then 1, 2, plus 2, positive direction to the right. So 2, that's to the right, that's our run, and positive 6 up, that's our rise. So our slope is 6 over 2, which is easily reduced into 3. Okay. Now, in the tip section right underneath your do now, x-intercept is defined as where the line crosses the x-axis. And the y-intercept is the same, except for it's the y-axis, where the line crosses the y-axis. Okay, so quickly, let's go back to your do now question. We can identify those 2 points really quickly. This would represent a y-intercept, and this would represent an x-intercept. Okay, teacher do number 1. Teacher do. Okay, so it says find the x-intercept. Now, let's go back to that do now question, the intercepts. These points, wherever this line is, again, the y-intercept is on the y-axis. Now, we defined this line before as x equals 0, and the x-axis as y equals 0. So I'm going to use this piece of information to find my intercepts. For the x-intercept, I know I'm going to have a point, and I know for a fact that I will automatically have my y value of 0. Let's fix that. So I'll have an x and a y, and I know my y value will be 0 every single time. The x-intercept is the opposite. I'm going to have a 0, comma something. And I have to find my y value. Okay, so given this information, for the x-intercept, I'll plug in y. For the y-intercept, I'll plug in x. Okay, so let's do the x-intercept first. X minus 2, our y value is 0, equals 12. We should do this in red. Y value is 0, and then we'll solve. X distribute plus 0 equals 12, x equals 12. Y-intercept, same thing, but just the opposite, x minus 2. Okay, so let's delete this part. Let's erase this. Sorry about that. Now, solve for the y-intercept. We'll do the same thing. The equation changes just a little bit. I know my x value, which is 0, and I'll put the rest of the equation in. Minus 2y equals 12. Again, x is 0, x is 0. Solve. 0 minus 2y is just negative 2y equals 12. Divide by negative 2. Y equals negative 6. Okay, so for students to number 1, again, if we're looking for the x-intercept, I'll make the y equal 0. Here's the original equation. Instead of y, I wrote 0. The only thing I have to worry about is this x. So 5 times 0 is 0. I have 3x plus 0 equals 9. 3x plus 0 is just 3x equals 9. And then divide by 3. Notice when I'm solving, even though I don't draw my line, I do have everything organized. My equal signs all lined up. Very easy to read. These cross out because they make a 1. X equals 3. Same process on the right. If I'm looking for the y-intercept, I'll make my x equal 0. 3 times 0 is 0. Plus 5y equals 9. 5y plus 0 is 5y, which equals 9. Divide by 5. Divide by 5. Y equals 9 over 5. This should be 5. Okay, I believe this is teacher number 2. So again, solving. I plugged in for x-intercept. I made y equals 0. Here's my y. There's my 0. Solve. Negative 5 times 0 is 0. 2/3 x plus 0 equals 15. So 2/3 x equals 15. Multiply this side by the reciprocal. 3 over 2. Multiply this side by the reciprocal. So these will cancel, and these will cancel, and all I have is an x. On this side, I have 15 times 3, which is 45 divided by 2. Fractions are your friends. On this side, same thing. I'm looking for y-intercept, so x is 0. 2/3 times 0, which I am great at, is 0. Minus 5y equals 15. Notice I'm still keeping everything lined up. Negative 5y equals 15. Divide by negative 5. Y equals negative 3. These are ordered pairs. They can be graphed fairly easily, and you will get your line. Okay, one more time. Repeat the process. Again, negative 4 times 0 is 0. All I have is 1/2 x equals 2. Multiply with reciprocal, which is 2 over 1. Those cancel. Keep it equal. Multiply this side by 2 over 1. X equals 2 times 2 is 4 over 1, which simplifies down to just 4. On the right, repeating the process again. 1/2 times 0, easy, it's gone. Negative 4y equals 2. Divide by negative 4 and divide by negative 4. Y equals negative 1/2. Reduced. So negative 1 over 2. Okay, so I think this is the last teacher do, and most people see a graph and they kind of freak out, but this is actually, okay, so sorry about all this stuff. Let me erase all this. Okay, so again, people kind of see a graph, they freak out a little bit, but it's actually really, really easy. So x-intercept, we know that our y value is equal to 0. For our y-intercept, we know, oops, this is the wrong place. Y value equals 0, so it should be over here. That's better. And for our x-intercept, our y-intercept, we know that our x is equal to 0. So all I gotta do is find these two places on the graph and find out where the line crosses. Okay. So if x equals 0, this is x equals 1. This is x equals 2, x equals 3. Let's count backwards. 3, 2, 1. Oh, there's x equals 0. And that is this point right here. Now, this is good. All we need to do is find our y value. This is y equals 1. And that's where the line crosses. That's y equals 2. Same process in the other direction. Again, y value equals 0. There's y equals 2. This must be y equals 3 up here. And all the way down here must be y equals 0 on this line. Okay, well, x equals 0, x equals 1, x equals 2, x equals 3, x equals 4, and this one is x equals 5. Ta-da! Okay, last students do the same thing. We're going to make, this is your x's, and these are your y's. Now for x-intercept, y must be 0, and for your y-intercept, x must be 0. This is x equals 0, and this one here is y equals 0. So let's start with your x-intercept, where y is equal to 0. That's here. Find your x values. This is x equals 0. This is x equals 1. 1, 0. This one over here is x equals 0, x equals 0, x equals 0, y equals 1, y equals 2, y equals 3. 0, 3. If you're done already, go ahead and start working on your Rev Prep, your vocabulary, or if you're in the middle station, start working on the problems in the back. We'll go over them in a second. Also, make sure you have your whiteboards and your markers ready so we can review together as a class.